Okay, welcome back. Where are we now? 11? Video 11, I think. So we've made some major progress. A lot of fiddly progress. It's very um tiny parts and details at the moment. I got the front part of the boat essentially done. Let me change the camera view so we can see that. All of this lattice work is done. Um, all of the railing is done, at least as far as, I can tell. I don't think there's much more railing to do. Yeah, it's looking really, really good. I'm going to caution you a little bit. I said in many times in previous videos, if you buy this kit. This is a $100 kit on AliExpress. If you happen to be on AliExpress and you find a larger scale black pearl for $100 roughly, it's probably this kit. Buy it with caution, a lot of caution. And please, if you're watching my videos, I'm happy you're here watching. I'm happy anybody's watching, frankly, especially after my main channel was shut down. But if you buy this, again, huge word of caution. It's garbage. It looks great. It's, for the most part, pieces are fitting together well. But there's just so many unknowns with this kit. You look at the instructions and you'll say, well, the instructions look great. They're color. There's multiple pages. Problem is, translation is terrible. And nothing is numbered. Nothing. There are the odd sheets of wood that have a letter. This one has an A on it, for instance, but as beyond that, nothing. The only pieces that were numbered in any way were the rib pieces, the frame pieces. After that, nothing. There's nothing. There's no identifying markers for a lot of these pieces. In terms of translation, I'm going to read this one to you. If anybody can explain this, and this is the translation from the original language, the original printed language, right here. Translation is red under it. I know you can't see that. I apologize. I don't think I can make that any clearer. Let me turn off a light. Maybe that'll help. No, it didn't help. So I need a translation of the translation from the original text. It says, next, due to the large number of parts produced, the difficulty is different. Since there is no connection, each part can be produced independently. So the production order is not divided, and it can be arranged according to the actual situation. Now I might type that all out and put it on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. I need a translation of that. I don't know what any of that means. Below that, there's another part of a translation from here to here. It says there are a few changes in the layout of the red circle. Now that kind of makes some sense. There's some red circles circling some parts that I'm assuming are going to be different in my model versus what's in the instructions. But it goes on to say, the plate has been processed and produced directly according to the above figure. What? Genuinely, I don't know what that means. So again, the translation is genuinely horrible. The next problem I'm running into is that I'm having to invent parts that, according to the instructions, are in this kit, but they're not. Or they are, but I'm being careless, and I admit I have been careless in one regard, and that is this rail here. Let me fix that camera again. this top rail here. Now I say top rail because it's a separated rail that sort of floats on these tiny little pieces of wood above the main rail, the gunwale. I used a straight piece of wood that came on this sheet here, just like this piece here, just like this straight piece of wood, when I should have used these pieces that have a slight curve to them. That's my fault. I don't think it's going to be detrimental, but it is my fault due to carelessness. Now, I am having trouble in this section. I meant to put these pieces of wood here that go down the side of the boat, and there are meant to be these little step ladder pieces here, right next to that piece. I don't know where they are. I can't seem to find anything that resembles them. And again, because the instructions are so bad, I could very well be using pieces that I'm not supposed to be using because I can't identify them. In a little while, I'm going to be building the lifeboat. That sounds awesome. Problem is, this is the only mention right here. This block is the only mention of the lifeboat. Doesn't tell you what parts really to use. It says, you know, it does give you some part numbers. Use F37, F35, but as I said, nothing is numbered, nothing is labeled. It says to use A44 and A45. Well, what the hell is that? I've got a bunch of thin, what looks like planking. I am assuming that's the planking for the lifeboat, but I'm only assuming. Again, nothing is clear. I don't know what I'm supposed to be using for this. So I'm very confused at the moment. I'm just gonna, I guess I'm gonna sort of move on and hope that it all works out. But at the moment, I'm stumped. I'm stumped, and I'm worried I'm going to use parts that I shouldn't be using. And down the road, that's going to be a problem. So, I think that's where we are at the moment. I will do some further investigation because I do have to figure this piece out here. That piece here. If I can figure this out, and I have wood, extra wood of my own. I can manufacture parts without using parts from the kit. But again, I shouldn't have to. So I'm not exactly sure what to do. Another problem I ran into was these parts here. It's a vertical, we'll call it a spindle, that more or less penetrates the rail, and it holds the rail up. While that was very clear what they were used for, I mean, they could only be used for one or two things. When they go through the wood, they are approximately a quarter size of the hole that they're meant to fit through. So when you put them in place, there's a lot of gap around that spindle. I didn't like that. I felt that was just ugly in every way. So I glued the spindle to a piece of wood and then carefully sanded and shaved each piece down. So basically each spindle is now twice as thick to 2.5 times thicker than they were before. So now they fill up nearly all of that hole, that opening. But again, it was something I felt that shouldn't have been that way. I'm trying to find one that I can show clearly. Again, I apologize. I'm using this new camera setup, and when I zoom in, of course, it uses digital zoom. That just screws all the quality up. Yeah, but it's hard to see now because, again, I did I did make the spindles a bit thicker so that the gap is less pronounced, but it was really pronounced. It was just that you could see clean through the rail because the spindle didn't fill that opening. I think that's it. I'm not trying to discourage anybody. If you've already bought this kit, again, give it a try. You know, I know $100 is a lot of money for some people, and it was for me. It still is, but it's wood. If you make a mistake, use another piece of wood. Go to your local hobby store, buy some wood. You can buy balsa wood, will work fine for this. I'm actually convinced that's mostly what this is made of to begin with. So I think that's it for now. We'll move on to the next step, which I'm just gonna do a little more research. I'm gonna try and figure out what some of these parts are meant to be, and I think that's it for now. So I'm actually gonna finish staining some of these parts that I've currently glued on, and we'll be back as soon as I figure out what's going on. Okay, welcome back. I do apologize if I repeat anything that I said in the last little segment. I'm apologizing because I'm actually recording this, wow, at least a week after that last segment was recorded. But here we are. I know that I talked about some parts being missing. Just a word of warning again. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. If you're buying this kit and you're looking forward to the challenges, just be aware that one of those challenges is that it appears that there are a lot of parts not included. But if you bought the kit and you're aware of these problems, again, I like to say I wasn't aware, but having built two kits in a similar sort of quality range before, I should have been aware of these problems, but I wasn't. I was expecting this to have a little bit better, a little bit more in terms of the parts that the instructions say one thing versus what you're actually getting. But again, if you're aware of these problems, you can overcome them. The upside to building with wood is that wood is, if you got a little bit of spare wood, it's super easy to make apart. It really is. Notably for me is these parts here along the side. I don't know what they're for. I feel like this is like a step ladder system that goes up the side of the boat. See if I can zoom that in a bit for you. They go up the side of the boat. I have no idea what these are for, but they're in the instructions. I even had some pictures in the last little photo montage there of those parts. Yeah, so I mean, I think I did pretty good. They're not included in the kit. However, you can make them, and they do look really nice once you do. Another problem I ran into is that because everything is printed on and laser cut on flat wooden sheets, everything is flat, everything is square. So, if you're looking for rounded spindles, for instance, along these rails, of course these are square. I could have made them round. I chose not to. However, the spindles in here were not included. And even if they were, they would have been square. So, let me turn this if I can. These little things right here. So I actually turned them myself, and I made them, and they look pretty good. Do that with the other camera. Maybe I can get a better image of that. Yeah, there we go. It's a little better. So I had to make those. I'm fairly proud of them. So, you know, the kit has massive limitations, and it has the instructions lie to you at every turn, only in that, you know, you're expected to make something, or, you know, build something on the boat that isn't in the kit. It's not included. So these are just challenges that you're going to have to overcome. My advice, if you haven't bought this kit and you're looking at getting this exact one, just don't. Avoid the headache and buy you know, spend an extra $50-$100 and get, you know, get the golden edition, or get you know, a version of this kit, you know, that's going to come with what it's supposed to come with. This was the cheapest version. That's my fault, because I'm cheap, and because, you know, I don't have a whole lot of money. So $100 was a lot at the time, and for this kit. So I said, I'll spend it, I'll get it. The upside is, again, I have some experience with these things, so it's not a big deal for me just to make some of these parts. But some people aren't in that category. You know, when my brother gets to build this, because he has this exact kit as well, I fear he's going to struggle. So I'm hoping that I can be some help to him when he gets to this point. So the next step, and I think these will be the last parts that I'll have to invent, are going to be the stairs that go from this deck here down to the main deck here, and they're going to attach here and here. The thing is that they're sort of rounded, you know, while the stringer for the stairs on this side, on the far side, is straight. The stringer on this side has a curved, rounded bottom. So the stairs, the treads will get wider progressively as the steps progress down to the next deck. I'm gonna have to make those because they're not in the kit. The instructions show them, but they don't explain how to build them. They even show what part numbers, which, again, if you've seen my previous videos, you know that none of these parts are numbered. None of them. So I'll have to invent those. I've just been putting that project off. I might save that for the next video. We're already kind of stretching 20 minutes, 30 minutes in this one. So, but this is where we are. Again, I got everything stained. I'm very, very happy with the looks of it. And I think that's it. You know, I hate to sound negative. I hate to, you know, to sound like I'm trying to put people off of this kit. I'm just trying to warn you. If you buy it, you're going to have problems. That's just the way it is. And by all means, you know, by any means, don't use my videos as instructional, because they're really not. You know, I mean, if you find them helpful, that's great. I'm happy for that. But, you know, I'm not trying to show you how to build it, because, again, with this kit, it appears like there's no right way or wrong way to do it. It's just do the best you can. I knew going in that this wasn't going to strictly be the Black Pearl. I mean, it's a Black Pearl kit, but I'm going to build it with, you know, just any ship in mind. So it's, you know, if I have to change something from the plans, great, it's fine, because it's not the Black Pearl. You know, so I think that's it. Again, sorry for the negativity. You know, again, if you take anything from this video, just take that piece of advice, that this is a cheap kit. There are limits. So I think that's it for this video. The the next video, look forward to that. I'm going to continue on with the deck details, like the cannons, the lifeboat or the dinghy, all of the deck, gratings, lattice work. All of that's going to start going together. Yeah, we'll start filling it out. It's going to look great. So that's it, and thanks for watching.